Welcome to another ride on Taxi Jabula, a show where ideas and conversations always come together to touch a lot of us. Much love to everyone for the continued support, and special shout out to the city of St. John's and Arsenal. It is your grants which continue making it possible for us to keep doing this show. I'm your host, Mr. T, and today we're getting to know the Prophex, one of the top Bachata artists in Canada. So tell us how you got started.
And the first studio that ever gave me an opportunity was a bachata studio. But I was not there to make bachata. I was there to make urban music, like reggaeton and stuff like this. And honestly, I didn't want... In my time growing up, bachata was not music for younger guys like me at that time. You understand?
Yeah.
It was more the older crowd that liked bachata. It wasn't people who listened to bachata that were young were called the country people in my country.
Yeah.
You understand? So growing up in New York, I was into hip hop. Then after I went back to my country, they listened to a lot of reggaeton. So I came back to the States. And all I only wanted to do was reggaeton. I didn't want to know about no bachata, no merengue, nothing like that. The studio. So in order for me to be able to do what I wanted, I had to help them with bachata, recording and stuff like that. And apart from that, my father and my family, when I was very young, I grew up listening to it.
Welcome to the Prophex.
And I look at the way Bachata has evolved in the past few years, where we used to only listen to people like Romeo Santos, Aventura. And then now we're seeing a lot of singles. And when I listen to your music, I see this Trapchata. So just take us through that part of your journey.
Like I grew up listening, the young thing to listen to when I was in school, high school, was hip hop. It was the hip hop, and it's like my first love in music was hip hop. Even though the influences of the traditional traditional bachata, merengue, and Caribbean Dominican music from back home has always been there, even salsa. Right? It was more at school. The kids what we talk about at school was hip hop, and that's where it comes from. The whole fusion. If you notice in a lot of my music, even music that hasn't come out, that is gonna come out soon, there's a lot of influences of hip hop in my bachata. It's like I connected back to my roots with everything I've been learning along the years.
You always have your catchphrase, "Welcome to the Prophex." So what kind of experience are you trying to get you?
I have a dream, and I have a goal to when Prophex becomes big, offer you a whole experience, like you said, like welcome to the Prophex. Like when you come to my show, it's not only going to be me singing up on stage and stuff like that. I just want to give you a whole experience, which is first of all the different type of music that I create, and then my show itself. I don't want it to be the traditional regular show. Like I said, I grew up listening to hip hop. I've been as a young boy, when I was like 4 or 5, I was influenced by Michael Jackson and his showmanship, and it's always been part of me to go the extra mile of things people aren't doing. So that's why I always say welcome to the Prophex. So it's to me, it's like welcome to my world. Let me show you the things that are in my mind and the things I think about.
So what are some of the things that you say you're most proud of?
People like I recorded with Alexandra from Monche Alexandra. I got a song with her I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud of having been able to go to other countries and perform. Like I went to the first Bachata festival in Australia. I performed there. I performed at the Los Angeles Bachata festival also, and I've been to different type of shows and festivals that where bachata has been like the headliner, and I've been part of. And also I've worked with big artists. I've worked with big groups as a producer. Like I said, I've worked with Monchi Alexandra, I've worked with Prince Royce, I've worked with 24 Horas, and I'm pretty happy with everything I've achieved till this point.
Yes. So what is like one thing that you'd say we as viewers take for granted, but you're really proud of it, and that goes on behind the scenes?
Well, behind the scenes is always, you always try to take it that extra mile in the creativity part. You understand? Like there's always that part that you try to make it so different that you don't hear in other people's music, or you just might find it. Let's say whenever you hear something, you'll know when something Prophex is involved, because you'll feel like, hey, this regularly doesn't go like this.
Yeah, so what can we expect more from this dream? What's coming up in your pipeline now?
Well, I have an album for coming out. I was supposed to drop all new music this year, but since everything happened, I kind of stretched it. So I have a couple of more songs releasing that I'm releasing this year. I have the song with Saltrix. I have one song coming out now in October, which has a really Kanye West type of vibe, like with samples in the bachata itself. And in December, I'm dropping a song called Ganadora, which is a song dedicated to women who are in business and are entrepreneurs. It's a different type of song. It's not a song about love. It's not a song about this girl left me, nothing like that. So it's just a song about empowerment.
Yes, no.
It's an empowerment song. So I have that, and then I'm dropping all those songs I've dropped all this year. I'm dropping them as a compilation, like a mini album, and in December also. And then starting January, I'll start dropping new music. I also have a song with DJ York and Manuel Chitro from Italy. It's Afrochata, something, a new sound that we.
Yes, you're going to my African roots.
Yeah, we mix the whole Afro house style with bachata, and it's very different. And I'm really looking forward to that project too.
So how can we keep in touch with your projects?
On all digital platforms, so you can search for me as Prophex, YouTube, Spotify, everything like that, Instagram. And I'm pretty active online. You see me all the time, and I'm always, if people dance to my music, I share it. I'm very appreciative of the dancers, because it's I think the art of me creating music for them is something special.